All right, I'm back again this week taking a look at some of my favorite touchdown concepts. Whether you're a coach out there or a fan and you just like to see what other teams are doing or what your team is doing to create some opportunities for their quarterback and receivers to get in the end zone, that's what this segment is for. I'm going to try to do it every week because I enjoy watching all the touchdowns as well. All right, so this is going to be a double post combination. Everybody has it in their playbook. But what I really love about this is you're going to notice that Detroit motions down into a stack right here. Okay, why is that important on the double post look? Okay, I'm going to run this one time, let you guys see how it looks. Okay, motion down. We're going to get the double post concept, and we got the big touchdown up over the top. All right, so we're going to freeze it here as we motion down. So we go from a normal split to a stack. What does the stack do? What it does is it forces this corner into an off and outside position, which is exactly what we want on a post. We want the defender in an outside position. We don't want him impeding us, being over the top of us, being able to change our route at the top of our stem before we hit the post, because all of that throws off timing and affects the route. So the little seam motion here forces that corner into an off position and puts us in a great position to expand, hold inside leverage, and get a free release by Jameson Williams on his 40-yard dash. We know how fast he is. You get a 40-yard dash from him, and very few people in the NFL are going to be able to keep up with him. So that free release with outside leverage is huge. Then we're going to take the inside guy, and he's going to run the influence post. What's the influence post? The idea of the inside guy is to run through the inside number of the nearest safety. We want to get this safety here to turn his hips to the inside. Once he turns him to the inside, he has no chance to spin and cover that outside post. If we don't influence him and he just wants to stay deep, now that influence should be taking the right angle that we can drive the throw to the inside. But the goal on this play, the primary guy is going to be the outside post. So we're creating the leverage and position that we want, the free runner we want on the outside, to make it easier on our quarterback. All right, and they're right here. Okay, it's right here where this thing is over. Now, Jameson Williams might have run by him anyways, but he does his job. The inside receiver does his job to get the hips of the safety turn inside. And when that happens, this is a walk in the park with the speed of Jameson Williams to the end zone. All right, so the Chiefs have a similar type concept that they're going to run here. Let me run it one time, show you what they're doing. They're going to motion this time to a 3-by-1 situation, and they're going to run a similar double post combination, and they also hit it for the big touchdown. Okay. The added element here is adding the third guy to the mix. Okay, so we talked about the key with an outside post is we want to gain leverage on this corner. So he doesn't impede us, and we can run our 40-yard dash, and we can use our speed to get down the field. Okay, so by motioning Juju to the outside here, now the corner, being the outside deep player in this defense, is thinking, okay, my guy is Juju Smith-Schuster. But instead of running the post with Juju, they're going to push him up, and they're going to run a big in with him. The double post combination actually comes from the two stack receivers. Inside guy is going to run the influence, and he's going to try to influence this safety right here. And then the outside receiver of the stack, I should say, not the outside receiver as a whole, but the outside receiver of the stack is going to be the one that runs the double post. And so this puts so much pressure on a defense because the corner has to get outside, right? He's worried about Juju to the outside and making sure that he's not attacking outside the numbers. And by doing that, there is nobody really responsible for this deep post, the number 2 runner that's running the deep post here. As long as we get this safety influenced, it is a tough look for the defense. What they would really have to do is this safety would have to pass that post off to the backside guy. He'd have to stay there and take the front side post, and then the outside corner would be responsible for the big end, but he's going to be an outside leverage, and that's what makes this such a beautiful concept, that even if you take away both posts, we're going to have a high-low with the back on this and check down to this side. So the defense really has little chance to be able to cover all the aspects of this. So as we come off, you're going to see, okay, it's the influence post. So the backside guy comes down with the tight end who's blocking. So now this safety is in a bind. He doesn't have a chance right here. You notice the corner, once again, in a hard outside position there. So he can't slow down. He can't impede the post. You got two guys running 40-yard dashes at the safety. And you see what happens. The safety takes one. The corner's in terrible position right there. And we've got the second post wide open for the touchdown. Boom, right there to Thornton. And then let me run it back. So let's say we don't have one of the posts. Now look what you do. You got the in, you got the check down to this side. You've overloaded them. You've got an opportunity for another big play off of this check down in this situation right here. So I love the play design by both teams, both running a version of double post, but this one with the added element on the outside, gaining the leverage that they want and getting a big touchdown. All right, now I'm going to go back to another play of Detroit, and I'm actually going to show two plays of Detroit because they actually run the same play twice, different versions of it to score touchdowns, and that's what I love. Give the defense a different presentation, but run the same play, or give the defense the same presentation and run different plays. All right, so you see we're in a 2-by-2 situation right here. We're going to motion Amon-Ra St. Brown to the right-hand side and make a little play fake right here. Okay, we're going to come off the play fake, and the play that we're going to call is what I call 0-42. Okay, so it's a 0, it's a 4, it's a 2. Okay, so kind of like a mesh, double crossers there, F flat. Okay, so the read on this play down in the red zone, you come off the play fake and you're looking to get the flat. If you don't have the flat, you often turn all the way back to the backside. So we go 1 to 2 to 3, and then if we have to, we can work back to the other crosser. But because flow always goes hard down in the red zone, and people are filling, for the run fake in this particular situation, they often overrun the backside. So we're going to come out here, and we've got the flat coming open for the touchdown. And then I just want you to kind of see what's happening here, right? See the defense is cut off in the backside hash. You got a shot there, and then you got a shot at the in, back behind it. But great play design. They're able to pop number one as they motion across, trying to play man, not able to stay with it. Touchdown, Lions. All right, here we are with another one. Okay, so now, starting a 3-by-1. Now we go to that same 2-by-2 stack, but you notice different guys in different spots, right? Amon-Ra St. Brown right now is the X receiver as opposed to being in the wing like he was last time. So now, different personnel group. Starting a 3-by-1, we motion from a 2-by-2 to the 3-by-1. What are we going to have? We're going to have the same thing. We're going to have the flat. We're going to have the 4. We're going to have the crossers right here. So we're given the exact same look. Boom, hit the flat once again for the touchdown. Hard to see the backside here, but you see once again the defense is cut off in this particular spot right there. Great chance to overrun him right here. Now it looks like this tight end, let me check that again. Okay, so looks like I'm actually switching it up just a little bit. I didn't notice that the first time. Then instead of a 4 route, they're going to run a 7 route. Okay, so they're going to go flat to corner on that side instead of working backside. But basically, same type of play down in the red zone. Okay, one time they go from just a straight 2-by-2, use a receiver to motion across. This time they started in a 3-by-1 to the right. They shifted, then they motion to that 3-by-1 with 2 tight ends. Maybe more of a run look. Get the man-to-man guy to step up. Another easy kick to the flat for a touchdown. All right, this next one here came from Monday night, Tampa Bay. We'll let her run one time, starting a 3-by-1, motion to the 2-by-2. And the over cross route for the touchdown. All right, so what we know about Houston is they like to play a shell defense. So they like to have what we call quarters, 4 guys responsible for the deep area of the field. Okay? So what Tampa's going to do is they're going to motion Ibuka across. Okay? And then to the front side, they're going to run just a play that I call fish. Okay? So it's fish because it's a hook and a flat. So you need that hook to go fishing. So it's just a fish concept. And then they're going to sneak this guy up over the top on the backside, and then they'll work back here from there. So Houston actually is in a position to be able to cover this. They've got a linebacker here responsible for the flat. They got a linebacker here that's responsible for the hook. And then the safeties can stay back, and they're in a position to cover both of those things. But you get down tight into the red zone, and everybody gets a little bit more aggressive. We get a little motion right there. And boom, as we come out of this, you see, they got plenty of bodies over there, but they get the safety, right? Get down tight. That safety wants to get a little nosy. He decides to bite down on the hook, which leaves this cross one-on-one on the backside safety. He's able to get leverage. Great process by Baker, looking flat, looking stick, working over the top to the cross. Really, really good play design to push up enough to get that safety involved, and a nice throw and catch on the back end for the touchdown. All right, last one I got here. Big shot by the Chargers. Okay, so the Chargers, we'll see it right here. Boom, big throw, Quentin Johnston. 3rd touchdown, I think, of the season. Been a big playmaker for him. And I knew he was going to have to be big for them. But here's what the Chargers love to do. The Chargers love to run play action or even drop back, and they love to run crossers. All kinds of different crossers, okay? So they're going to mix it up. They're going to change it up. Everybody in their offense will run crossers at some point in time. They love to use Ladd McConkey in that area because he's got such a good feel for finding the open areas. And, you know, everybody runs this sort of crosser type thing. A lot of teams will run it a lot with the big post over here, try to clear out that side and then bring the crosser over to this side. Well, the other version of that is, okay, sometimes you run the post and other times you run the pylon. Okay, so it's designed to go, to make it look like he's running it over. You're going to see Quentin Johnston does a nice job of really rolling and leaning in, making it look as if he's going to continue across the field this way. And what does that do? What it does, as I run it right here, when he starts to cross there, what it does is it releases this corner. Okay, the more he stays out by the numbers, the more that corner sees him and feels him and will cover him to the deep area of the field. Once he starts getting in there by the hash, this corner is expecting to pass him off to the other side, saying, oh, he's going over the field. I'm going to pass him off to the safety. I'm going to pass him off to those linebackers on that side, and I'm going to wait for Ladd McConkey to come over to this side. So it's so key to be able to dive in there like Johnston does, to be able to dive in there into the hash and get in between that safety and corner so neither one of them really know, okay, am I taking him? Are you taking him? And this corner gets eyes and vision inside. He sees the cross coming, and all he needs to do is hesitate just enough. It's all it takes. With that speed, you hesitate right there. That's it. Oh, here comes the cross, hesitate, and now it's game over. Perfect throw by Justin Herbert. Safety, not in a position to get all the way back over there and get it. Just a beautiful play design, but a great complementary play to things that they do. They're going to show you something over and over again. I'm going to show you the cross. I'm going to show you the cross. I'm going to show you the cross. And sometimes they're going to do the double cross. Okay, and so this corner on this side, once that guy goes inside, he's saying, okay, I'm waiting for the crosser. I know they love the crosser, and it was just that little hesitation, along with that speed and a perfect placed ball, leads to a Chargers big play touchdown.